Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. And today, we're returning once again to the newest mode in the game. Realm. But not just that. We're diving deeper into one of the most mysterious systems inside it, the Realm skills. Now, if you've been following the channel, you already know. We've been breaking this down step by step. We had the introduction. We had part 2. And today, this is the continuation. This is part 3. So if you missed the previous ones, make sure you check the playlist on the channel. Everything about Realm is there, and it will give you a solid foundation to understand what these skills can and cannot do. Because today, we're not just reading skills. We're starting to understand what they might mean for your progression and your future decisions inside Realm. And today's heroes: Dante, Octavia, Astaroth, Aidan, and Judge. So let's get into it. Now, before we begin, just a quick reminder, and this is important. Realm skills only affect gameplay inside Realm. And more specifically, they affect troop-based combat. Marksmen, spearmen, infantry. So everything we're about to talk about is focused on that system. With that in mind, let's jump into our first hero. Dante. Dante is a hero that clearly focuses on buffing your spearman's offense. His first skill is very straightforward. It grants your spearmen a 5 to 10% critical hit chance when they attack. And of course, this can be increased as you invest more into the skill. Now his second skill is a bit more interesting. And also more impactful. Every 3 turns, your spearman will deal 30 to 60% more damage, and at the same time, the enemy's defense is reduced for 1 turn. So this is not just a damage buff. It's a burst window. A moment where your spearmen hit harder. And your enemy becomes weaker. Now the big question here is simple. Will spearman-focused strategies actually become viable? Because if they do, Dante becomes very interesting inside Realm. And speaking about Dante, you really can't talk about him without mentioning Octavia. Because there is a very real possibility that this duo continues to work together even inside Realm. But here's the difference. While Dante focuses on spearmen, Octavia benefits everyone. Her first skill increases the offense of all troops by around 3 to 4%, and at the same time increases defense by 2 to 4%. So right away, she brings balance, offense and defense, for your entire army. And her second skill will not surprise anyone. She gives your troops a chance to dodge incoming attacks, around 2 to 4% at level 1. And just like everything else, this scales. Now again, at level 1, these numbers don't look massive. But the real question is not level 1. The real question is what happens when these skills are maxed. And more importantly, what happens when Realm PvP arrives? Because that's when we'll truly understand how powerful these buffs can become. Now let's move into our third hero, Astaroth. And here, things shift a bit. Because Astaroth is focused on infantry. His first skill increases infantry attack by around 3 to 6%. Which, for a tank, is actually a bit surprising. But his second skill, that's where things start to feel more like Astaroth. He gives your troops a 10 to 12% chance to absorb around 5% of incoming damage each turn. Now yes. At first glance, these numbers look small. But remember, everything here scales. And when you start stacking these effects over multiple turns, this kind of damage mitigation can become very relevant. So once again, if infantry becomes a strong direction inside Realm, Astaroth could have a real place there. Now let's move to our fourth hero, Aiden. And honestly, this one feels exactly how you would expect. Because Aiden's identity stays the same. Healing and shielding. His first skill increases the health of your troops by around 3 to 5% each turn. Simple, consistent, reliable, and very similar to what we already know from his main kit. And his second skill. Again, no surprises. He gives your troops a chance, around 5 to 7%, to absorb 15% of incoming damage. So once again, we're looking at sustain. We're looking at survivability. We're looking at longer fights. Now yes, at level 1, it might not feel game-changing. But once these skills are leveled, this could easily become one of the strongest sustain tools inside Realm. And now, let's move to our final hero for today. Judge. The Progress Shield Support. Now you might expect him to behave exactly like he does in regular gameplay. But in Realm, things are a bit different. Judge actually becomes a spearman-focused hero. His first skill gives Spearmen an 8 to 10% chance to deal increased damage for 2 turns. And his second skill buffs both attack and defense for Spearmen. Around 3 to 6% attack. And 2 to 4% defense. So once again, very clear direction. If you're building around Spearmen, Judge fits right in. So there we have it, Guardians. Another set of heroes. And their realm skills uncovered. And as you can see, we're starting to notice patterns. Some heroes focus on specific troop types. Others benefit the entire army. But the big question still remains. What will actually be meta? And for that, we need PvP. Because until that arrives, everything we see here is potential. So for now, our advice stays the same. Be careful. Don't rush into leveling these skills. Wait. Observe. Test when possible. Because once PvP arrives, that's when the real value of these skills will be revealed. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about these skills? Do you see a direction already forming? Are you thinking about spearmen, infantry, or full balanced teams? Let me know in the comments. And if you've found something interesting already, share it with the community. And of course, if you're enjoying this series, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because we're not done yet. There are still more heroes to cover. More skills to break down. And more strategies to uncover. We'll see you again very soon for the next part. Stay tuned, stay sharp. And as always, salute and friendship.